Do I really need to introduce myself each time I start a new video? So pointless. Severus Snape, again, for week 2 of Professor Flitwick's psychology vlog assignment. He mentioned that in my last video I was a touch too harsh on some of my peers. He invited me to offer an apology at the beginning of this video if I wanted to. I would like to start this video out with a preface. Advice, either taking it or giving it, is not something I'm used to. Talking about homework with someone or correcting their grammar, that's something else entirely. I've been told repeatedly throughout my life that I'm a know-it-all or that I'm arrogant and what have you. Whether or not you think that of me, I don't care. I just don't get people and all these nuisances. That being said, I've been thinking about this a lot because I'm not giving the advice to just anyone. It's supposed to be to myself, which I admit is an entirely new concept for me. I felt like this assignment had me floundering a bit. Actually, not a bit. I tried to ask Lily several times to help me come up with something important to say, but she said this was something I had to come up with on my own. Like most things, she was right. Professor Flitwick gave some suggestions during class when he first brought up the assignment, but honestly, some of the suggestions were a bit too understated, I thought. So lately I've been spending lots of time in the library and in my room trying to come up with something that's not stupid or a waste of time. To my past self, all I really have to say is, it's not your fault. Just to clarify, I'm not going to pour my soul out in front of the camera. What's happened to me is my business. I don't need anyone's pity. But when I was younger and much more naive to how complex human nature can really be, I had a massive amount of guilt. Of course, now I realize where that guilt manifested from. So again, if there was anything I could say to small Severus, what a weird thing to say, it would be that it's not your fault, bad things happen, and in the end it taught you a valuable lesson, that you can't trust everyone. There will always be people who aren't worth your time and attention. As for giving advice to my future self, that one's a bit easier. Be the best at whatever field you end up in, whether it's pharmacy or health or whatever. Be the best. Become the person that has people relying on you instead of the other way around. Strive to be independent and successful, because when you're the best at what you do, every avenue or outcome is at your fingertips. And it's much easier, I find, to be the person who's needed rather than the person who needs. It's all just... I thought it best to end with a quote here. Lily mentions quotes all the time from men and women who have had some kind of impact on her, whose words have moved her. I can see it in her expression every time she tells me something new, whether she's quoting Aristotle or even a Disney princess. There's a passion in her words. So, in that spirit, I found this quote, and it just seemed appropriate for me. And it's Kevin Bacon, which I thought she might like. She forced me to watch Footloose over the weekend. Again. I really believe that all of us have a lot of darkness in our souls. Anger, rage, fear, and sadness. I don't think that's only reserved for the people who have had horrible upbringings. I think it really exists and is part of the human condition. And I think through the course of your life, you figure out ways to deal with that.